solving the equations, the only extra step is being able to write the equation to start with. So you have to read through the words and try and work out what is it asking me? How can I turn this into an equation that I can solve? And when I mark these, I do actually give you a mark if you can write down the starting equation. Don't even have to solve it, as long as you can get the equation part right. So let's read through and see if we can do it. Question number 1A. Solve these number problems by first writing an equation. The sum of a certain number, now as soon as it says a certain number, you get to choose a pronumeral to use. Most of the time, I tend to use the pronumeral x. So I'm going to call that x. So the sum of my certain number and 11. What does the word sum mean? Clayton, plus. So I want to go x plus 11. So it's saying the sum of my number and 11 is, that word is means equal to 23. So there it is. I've written the equation down. You get 1 mark just for getting to there. Now we just want to solve it. It's a one-step equation because there's only one number there with the x. What should I do?
What plus?
Yeah, yeah, but using our method, what's the opposite? Minus 11. So I want to go a little minus 11 under here to get rid of that. X equals 23, take away 11 is 12. So there's the answer. Okay, let's try the next one. A certain number, so I'm going to call it x again. Minus 9. So minus means subtract, doesn't it? So it's going to be x minus 9. It helps to just read one little section of the question at a time and write down each bit as you go. If you read the whole question and then go, oh, now put it all into an equation, it can be a bit confusing. Just do little bit by little bit. So my certain number minus 9, I've got that, is equal to, so there's my equal to sign, is equal to 13. What is the number? All right, so first of all, what is my opposite? Plus 9. So that will cancel that out. X is by itself. 13 plus 9 makes 22. Very good. Question C. 15 minus a certain number, so there's my x again. 15 minus my x. Remember, with subtracting, it's important the order. 15 minus x is equal to 8. How do I get that by itself? What should I do? No, because there's only one x, I don't want to move the x.
15.
I do need to do something with the 15. What should I do with it? No. The minus sign belongs with the x. The 15 is actually positive. So this is actually, even though there's only one number, there's actually 2 steps that we need to do here. The first step is to subtract the 15. Okay, that leaves a minus x is equal to 8 take away 15 is negative 7. Now the second step is that minus sign. Remember, if there's no number there, it means that it's a minus 1. And that minus 1 is times with that x. So the opposite would be to divide by negative 1. So x is by itself, and minus 7 divided by minus 1 makes a positive 7. So a little bit squishy there at the bottom. D. The product of 9 and a certain number. What does the word product mean? How can I write that?
Is it times?
It does mean times. So what should I write? 9x. Very good. Because my certain number is x. So it's going to be 9x. It says that is equal to, what's it equal to? 108. What do I do to get the x by itself? Very good, yeah. Divide by 9. Because that 9 is times, the opposite is to divide. What is 108 divided by 9? 12. E. The product of 5 and a certain number is 135. How should I write that? Who can tell me the equation?
So now 5x equals 135.
Perfect. 5x equals 135. I need to get rid of that 5. What should I do?
Divide.
Very good, Bella. You're very good at this. Divide the 5. X is by itself. 135 divided by 5 is 27. Okay, so most of those ones that we've done there are one-step equations. We did have one that we had to do 2 steps because of the minus sign. Question 2, these ones are going to involve a few more steps. Solve these number problems by first writing an equation. If a number is multiplied by 3, so yep, there's my x, there's the number we're talking about is going to be the x. My x is multiplied by 3, so that means 3x. If my number is multiplied by 3 and 5 is added to the product, that just means I want to plus 5. The result is means equal to, is equal to 17. Does that make sense? Just do a little bit of the words at a time. So there is 2 numbers. Let's do some circling. The x is what I'm trying to get. I've times by 3 and then I've got the 5. I don't usually worry about doing the layers for when it's a one-step equation, so there's only one number to worry about. But with 2 numbers, I've got to do that outside layer first, the 5. So the opposite is to subtract 5. Cross off the outside layer, and I have 3x equals 17 take away 5 is 12. Now for my second layer, which is the 3. How do I get rid of that 3?
Divide by 3.
Divide by 3. I'm going to have to start asking the guys for answers. You're going to tell me everything, Bella. Well, that means x is by itself, and 12 divided by 3 is 4. Very good. B. The hardest part, I think, is making sure you get the equation right. So let's keep practicing. When 6 is subtracted from the product of 4 and a certain number. One of the guys.
Is it 6 plus x?
Not quite. Good try though.
Is it 6 minus 4 equals 14?
Nope.
6 minus 4x.
Nope. Oh, this is you, Jake.
6.
That's wrong straight away. That's why everyone got it wrong, because the 6 is what has to be subtracted. The 6 is subtracted. So you don't go 6 minus x, you know you've got to minus 6 somewhere. So you've actually got to do the product part first. What is the product of 4 and your certain number? Yes. So it's 4x, so there's your product, and I want to subtract 6. They deliberately do that in the question where they're telling you the 6 first, but you've actually got to take that off. It actually comes second when you write it down in the equation. The answer is 14, so equals 14. All right, the layers. X is the center, times by 4, and then minus 6. So reversing, I need to do a plus 6 to get rid of the outside layer. 4x equals 14 plus 6 is 20. Then to get rid of the 4, because it's times, I will need to divide by 4. X is by itself, and 20 divided by 4 is 5. All right, C. The sum of a certain number and 3 is then multiplied by 7. Who wants to give this a go? All right. No, Bella. Oh, Ashley.
Is it 3x times 7 equals 63?
Not quite. Sum. What does that word sum mean? We've got to add something. What are we adding?
3 plus x.
3 plus x, or I would put the x first. It's going to be x plus 3. So there is the sum of my number and 3. That has to be multiplied by 7. That means all of it. So for the first time, I actually have to use brackets and multiply that by 7. The answer is 63, so that means equals to 63. What should I always do if there are brackets?
Do the brackets first.
Yeah, expand them, right? So we go 7 times x is 7x plus 7 times 3 is 21 equals 63. Now we're ready for our layers. X is the center times the 7 plus the 21. Peeling the layers, the opposite of plus 21 is to minus 21. That leaves 7x equals 63 take away 21 is 42. Then last step, how do I get rid of that 7? Yes. Divide by 7, which gives x equals 6. All right, I feel like I probably should stop here because I'm doing this. This was actually your worksheet. Or maybe I'll leave D and E and I'll do kind of question 3 for you. The equation for each of these problems we have to solve on both sides. The result of adding 12 to a certain number is the same as multiplying the number by 4. Find the number. Okay. The result of adding 12 to a certain number, that's the first part. What does that mean?
Plus.
So adding 12 to a certain number.
12 plus x.
Or x plus 12. Like to have the x first. X plus 12 is the same as, so there's your equal to. And the second part of information is multiplying the number by 4. Now that the number part is your x again. I want to multiply my x by 4, which means I have 4x. So here is an equation with an x on both sides. What do I do when there's x's on both sides? Move, no, we move the smaller one. What's smaller, x or 4x? X. How do I move x? The whole term, how do I move it? It's a positive x, so I want to subtract x. That will cancel that off. Now, because that means that my x is going to be on the right-hand side, I'm going to do a switch. What is 4x take away x? 3x, I'm going to put, no, not squared, just x. I'm going to put that on the left, just because I like the x on the left. And that's going to be equal to the 12. All right, now there's only one x in there, and I've only got that 3. One little step that I need to do. How do I get rid of the 3? Yes. Okay, so 12 divided by 3 is 4. So the number we were looking for was 4. All right, I'll get you started on B, and then I think I'll let you guys have a try. Twice a number plus 7. Okay, stop there. Can we write that down? What is twice a number? Well, x is my number. What's twice x? No. Just twice x is 2x. So we just want to go 2x, and then it says plus 7. So that's 2x plus 7. Then it says is the same as. What does that mean? Equals. That's your equal sign. And then 3 times the number. What's 3 times the number? How do I write 3 times the number? 3 what? 3x again plus 1. So it's going to be 3x plus 1 on the right hand side. Okay, pronumerals on both sides. We always move the smaller one. Which one's smaller? And how do I move it? Yes, minus the 2x. Again, because my x is on the ones that are left, on the right-hand side, I'm going to switch them, move them over to the left. 3x take away 2x is? 3 take away 2 is? 1 or just x? Yes. And I also have the plus 1. That was after that. And the 7 is now going to be on the right-hand side, so I'm switching sides. There is this number 1 here to get rid of. What do I do? -1. Yes, -1, -1. So x is equal to 6. Alright, so you can see we're getting into the trickier ones now, but I'd like for you to try a few. So if you could fill in the gaps there, that would be great.